President Trump says Washington has ordered Israel to stop attacking Lebanon. A 10-day ceasefire came into effect in Lebanon on Friday. In a post on social media, Trump said the US will work with Lebanon separately and deal with what he calls the Hezbollah situation in an appropriate manner. He states that Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer and that it is prohibited from doing so by the United States. He ends with, "Enough is enough." Tony Cheng is following the Israeli government's reaction from the Jordanian capital of Amman. And Tony, so with Lebanon, where does it leave the Israeli goals in the country?
I think that really depends who you speak to. Politically, it's not been good for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister. He's seen a drop in the polls recently, and we've seen very strong statements from people living in the northern border communities condemning this ceasefire as a capitulation not only to Iran but also to the United States. Others saying that they wished he'd been more frank with them about the ceasefire and that it was a possibility rather than hearing it directly from the United States. That said, I think Benjamin Netanyahu himself, in a TV address on Friday evening, spoke quite openly about his friend Donald Trump. So while there has been a lot of pressure, it's clearly not one which has put too much strain on their relationship. And military analysts are taking a rather different take on this. They say that while Israel is going to have to stop its advance in southern Lebanon at the moment, it's already made very significant tactical gains. It's got what it calls a yellow line of security at certain points up to 10 kilometers in from the Lebanese border. And that allows it to control a line of anti-tank fire, meaning it can bring in heavy artillery and heavy armor into Lebanon. And effectively, as it reads the ceasefire agreement, it is allowed to fly drones and aircraft all the way up to the Litani River to create a secure space. So it has made significant territorial gains.
How coordinated would you say Israel and the United States are at this point?
Well, this is the first little ripple in their relationship. Up to this point, they've been very much in lockstep. We've seen, I think, rumors of pressure being exerted by the Americans in the last couple of weeks as they push for that ceasefire. But those seemed to dissipate after the breakdown of the talks in Islamabad last weekend. Clearly, they were going on behind the scenes. It isn't to Benjamin Netanyahu's advantage at the moment. He is very concentrated on domestic politics at the moment, with an election expected to happen later this year. But he's also been seen very much as the Trump whisperer, a man who has a very strong relationship with Donald Trump. In fact, in the US media in the past couple of weeks, it's been reported that he was the influencing character in persuading Donald Trump to get involved in the war in Iran in the first place. And this may be a part of Trump trying to snap back what he appears to be control in that relationship. That said, it is going to be a problem for him that this ceasefire has been imposed on Israel. He's said that Israel is ready, the Israeli military is ready to go back to war if the command comes from the United States. The Israeli military is on high alert at the moment. So while this might be a temporary disruption in what's otherwise been a very smooth relationship, I don't think it's going to be a significant problem for either Trump or Netanyahu.
All right, Tony, thanks for that. Tony Cheng there in Amman.